Sometimes you come across a friend. Hey, welcome back. I'm out here breaking in my heat shield for my solid fuel stove. You see me have this with the others, one of the other stoves. It's just a little added protection to keep it from burning what it sits on. Knock on wood. Today is Friday the 13th. And fun fact: when there's no leap year, the first 28 days of March are the exact same as the 28 days in February. It has to do with that it's a 28-day cycle. Anyway, so my original plan was I wanted to come out with the twig stove, but I decided not to. I got some eggs, a little pan, some butter. Doing the coffee first. And something a little bit different today. Well, first, too, hopefully you checked out the last video. It was the first exclusive for Fire Pit Outdoors. Now we'll move on. Back when I used to drink, I wasn't real big on, typical bars and stuff like that. I liked sports bars, Back then, though, a sports bar was different than what they are today. You didn't go in and have 35 million screens. You walked in and there were deer heads on the wall, and mounted fish and stuff like that. And there was one that I really liked. Everybody kind of knew everybody. Of course, there was this one little group that I don't think they hunted. I don't think they fished the camp. I think about the only thing they did that for leaving the house was to actually go hang out at this bar. Just, you know, kind of heckling us and always just kind of just being disruptive. But we kind of paid them no mind, went about our business. I actually even had a fish mounted on the wall. I was too young to enter the contest, but my sister's boyfriend's brother, we were ice fishing, took it and entered it in the contest and it won. So part of the prize, I think I've mentioned this before, was it being mounted on the wall. It used to be cool to go in there when I got old enough to drink and look at that fish. It was a good sized walleye. So yeah, we everybody knew everybody. You'd go in, and if you went in there with $20, well, you're not even. If you went in there with $10, because this was back when like a bottle of Budweiser was like a buck, a draft beer was like 50 cents, maybe 75 cents if they had, something like Heineken or something on tap. It was a long time ago. And it was, you go to buy a round and somebody be like, I got that, or you'd be like, I got his. It was that kind of a mentality, that kind of a camaraderie. We'd share hunting stories. Sometimes they were true, sometimes they were tall tales. Comes with the territory. A lot of them were older guys, much older than I was at the time. And, that's what was cool, because you could always learn something from somebody like that. Add a little more water there. But we told stories, we hung out, And then I started noticing, a couple of the guys passed on. And I started noticing that these people that, weren't really, they were just there to get drunk and kind of be rowdy. And even though that wasn't what the bar is about, the owner was always nice, he has to make money too. So they stayed. They didn't really get obnoxious. But I noticed over time it started getting worse. Arguments turned into actual fist fights. People were thrown out and stuff like that. And it sort of got to be where, there was very few of us left that still did the outdoors. The pool table had a top on it where these guys would bring, pizzas and stuff in instead of being able to play pool. I noticed some of the deer heads were taken down, and sports memorabilia, sports teams memorabilia was hanging in its place. And the TV that used to play old video cassettes of things like Hank Parker and Bill Dance Fishing, Bill Jordan, Bass Pros, Buckmasters. Now I didn't have that. It was off most of the time, and the jukebox was playing. The crowd just shifted, and we were kind of edged out. And I at one point tried to help this out. The apartment I had at the time actually had an attic. So I went and I had a bar with a couple of stools. I went up and set up the bar and picked up one of them crappy used old pool tables they used to have back then that were like $100 new. I picked one up for like $50. Had a little radio up there. And some of the guys would hang out. It was fun. Talk about fishing and did a couple of little contests here and there where you'd win a case of beer or maybe a fishing pole or something. My thing's gonna go out there. Sorry about that little interruption. I had to had a little bit of a oopsie there. And eventually, you know, just faded out too. It is what it is. But I just remember, you know, all those good times with the older guys that went out and do stuff. Some of the crowd that was kind of taking over the place. I honestly believe when it came to the outdoors and hunting, wouldn't have known a turkey from an alligator or a deer from a ostrich. Oh, there goes my eggs. Oh, I'm gonna save it. See, I just get aggravated even thinking about it. At least I still got a man and a half. So eventually, the place started getting pretty bad. All it was arguments, fist fights. Cops were there all the time. Stabbings started to go on. The owner said he had enough and he sold it off. I don't even have anything to wake that up with. The last I had really heard about it, at one point I lived right up the street from the place and really just didn't go in there maybe once or twice in the couple of years I lived there. It just wasn't my kind of place anymore. And from what I understand, it's all boarded up and stuff now. From what I understand, there actually ended up being like a shootout between the cops and some not so good people there. So, you know, I guess in a way it was good that I had sort of started to have enough, had enough, and had moved on years prior. I didn't want to be involved in it. I didn't go places to do nothing but listen to people argue and, sorry, I'm just going to say this, piss and bitch and moan and turn something into it's not. I mean, it was a outdoor oriented bar. I mean, heck, like I said, you went in and, you know, most of the people were wearing some kind of camouflage, or during the summer they had shirts with it said Trilene or Realtree or something. Maybe not Realtree. I'm not sure Realtree was around back then. I think it was Mossy Oak. I don't really remember. There's a lot of woodland camouflage back then. But anyway, it did. It just really got to the point where my buddies and I just didn't enjoy it. I did the thing and kept it. Anybody who wanted to hang out, bring over your beer, we'll go up, shoot the shit at the bar at my place, and do that. Now I'll take this off to let it start to cool a little bit. I am hungry. I didn't walk too far today. Only maybe a mile or so. Eggs are good, but eggs are even better when they're cooked in the woods. And while this might not look like the woods, this is the woods. So anyway, no real point to that story. Just that sometimes it's better to avoid bullies and I guess what you'd call today trolls, problematic people. Than to drag you down to their level and fight with them and all this other stuff. It's just not worth it. Especially, stuff like these days with all this internet. It's just not worth it. That was it. I really kind of wish I'd have known that when it got sold, like it was sold. I didn't really know. I went there like about a year later and found out, and like all the stuff was gone, and I would have liked to have had my fish back. Bro. All right. That was some good stuff. Let's save that for another day. Cheers. Oh, it's hot. Still very hot. Burn the tongue. So, yeah, completely different today. Just sharing a little part of my younger days. I guess that's it. Yeah, tomorrow's Valentine's Day. The wife and I, our plan is to spend it in Vermont. There's a place she likes to go and play pinball, so I'm going to take her to play pinball for Valentine's Day. And there's a burger place she likes over there. So we're going to go get some lunch at the burger joint. And enjoy it. All right. Cheers. Oh, excuse me. Cheers. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. What that was. Join the forum. Watch the exclusive video on how I make my fire starters. Do it now. Now. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the forum, and we'll see you in the next video. It might be an exclusive. Thanks for watching.